Hey, help support the show by becoming a member on Patreon or YouTube. You'll get 4 bonus videos a month, plus ad-free versions of every Junkyard pod, and a special shout out at the beginning of each video. This is the best way to help me as a creator, and so thank you and go Cavs. So we got a few injury updates to talk about today. Nothing major, nothing new. Unfortunately, it's still up in the air whether Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, or DeAndre Hunter are going to play on Friday. The three of them missed last game. They're still listed as questionable for game 3 in Indiana. Donovan Mitchell, on the other hand, good news, is going to play. Kenny Atkinson said after practice today that there will be no injury label for Donovan Mitchell. He doesn't anticipate that. So he's good. He's dealing with the calf strain, but he's going to be out there. He's going to play. As for the other three, we did get an update earlier. Brian Windhorst, Windy, said on ESPN Cleveland that the Darius Garland injury is legit. He's in actual pain. He truly is in pain. He's not just, doesn't want to play or he's being soft. No, it's a legitimate injury. Like the dude, I know people, we've talked about this already on my channel. We've talked about it on the playback stream. Toe injuries, they sound funny. They are no joke. That is a legitimately tough injury to deal with if you're a basketball player, especially if you're someone like Darius Garland, who is shifty, changes directions. You plant a lot of weight on that toe. And from the reporting that we've heard, he's still having a hard time putting weight on his foot. So that's going to limit your ability to play. It's not simply a pain tolerance thing, like I said in my last video. It's how effective could you actually be? If you're out there and you're limping around and you can't move anywhere near full speed, then you're not really helping us. So Kenny Atkinson confirmed that Darius Garland wants to play. He's been trying to play, but the medical staff is just not clearing him because the injury is just legitimately that bad. I know, again, it's a toe injury. Sounds funny, but it is legit. And I'm not a medical professional. I have no reason to deny them or debunk whatever they're saying. So we didn't get anything new in that regard, but we did just get this Joe Varden article from The Athletic where he says there's optimism that all three of Mobley, Hunter, and Garland will try to play on Friday. So it's not the most encouraging thing ever. It's not like, okay, they're going to play, but there's growing optimism that they are going to give it a go. Obviously, the season is on the line, so they have to at least try. And we've heard in that same story in The Athletic that DeAndre Hunter, the swelling on his thumb has subsided, which is good news. Mobley and Garland, on the other hand, they went through shoot around, but they're both, in the reporting, it says that they both look like they're laboring through lower leg injuries. So not great, right? They clearly don't look 100%, but it sounds like they're going to at least give it a go. And Donovan Mitchell, he will be available. So we might get to see the Cavs. If you want to say full strength, that's not really the right way to put it, but we might be able to see their full rotation for the first time in this Indiana series. Of course, they are down 0-2. So I wanted to talk about this today, the history of 0-2 comebacks in the NBA playoffs and give some historical context for what the Cavs are up against right now. Now, it's important to start off by saying these stats, it's all skewed, it's all different. You could almost just completely throw it away and say it's irrelevant because yes, there have been however many the NBA teams in history that have gone down 0-2. None of them are the 2025 Cleveland Cavaliers. Every situation is different. Every single playoff series is different. So take that with a grain of salt. But I thought it would be fun to go through it and just look at, how likely is it to come back from this and what happened in the series that led to a 0-2 comeback. So sure you guys have seen this already. 92% of teams that go down 0-2 in the NBA playoffs go on to lose the series. Now, again, that doesn't factor into our specific situation in Cleveland. This isn't a 1 seed that is just getting predictably swept by an 8 seed. And this isn't a road team that went down 0-2. The Cavs were in Cleveland for the first 2 games. So the odds for that are not great. That's never a good sign. But surprisingly, you actually have a higher chance of coming back if you lose the first 2 games at home versus the other way around. So there's only from all teams in NBA playoff history that have gone down 0-2, just about 8% of them have come back to win the series. But if you look at home teams that went down 0-2, it's about 16% of them came back to win. So the odds still aren't great either way. And it's just weird because it's so rare that a home team goes down 0-2. And if that happens, usually there's something weird, some outlier that's happening that causes that. So all time home teams that start off 0-2 in the playoffs are 4-24 all time. 3 of those comebacks have happened since 2005. 2 of them have happened since 2017. So it's become more common in recent years with 3-point variance and all this stuff. So going through each of those series, I found some important things to note. For 2021, Luka Doncic, he's basically injured throughout the entire series. He's got all sorts of issues going on. He didn't miss a game, but he was clearly hobbling throughout the entire thing. And you know what? He still played incredible. He's putting up 36 points every other game. But during that, he's playing on a sprained ankle. He sprained his knee. He's also dealing with nerve issues in his neck after game 3. It was clear that this dude was hanging on by a thread. Kawhi Leonard puts up just an absolute monster, 45 points in the pivotal game 6. Clippers, they go on to win in 7, despite Luka Doncic scoring 46 points in game 7. So that's the most recent comeback, and it's a little skewed because of the injury, and the Clippers were clearly the better team. They dropped the first 2 games. Luka's crushing them. Injuries start to pile up. You get a monster performance from Kawhi, and the Clippers end up coming back. The other time that it happened, 2017, the Bulls, they steal the first 2 games in Boston. Rajon Rondo, who's playing for the Bulls at this time, gets injured in game 2 after putting up triple-double numbers for the first 2 games. He was killing them. I think he had 6 steals in either game 1 or game 2, 14 assists in the other one. I mean, he was just really giving them issues. He gets injured, goes out. Celtics smack them the rest of the way. They win 4 straight. This was a 1 seed versus an 8 seed. The Celtics shouldn't have lost the first 2 games to begin with, right? But again, the injuries to the other team benefited the team that was down 0-2, and they managed to come back and win the series. Finally, in 2005, the Mavericks, they come back from being down 0-2 against the Rockets. Now, this one to me, when I was looking, was actually pretty good old-fashioned comeback, right? As far as I could see, no major injuries that ruined this for one team. I don't know if anyone was, playing through injuries or not. I couldn't find that, but no one missed any key games. Dallas, they dropped the first 2 games at home. They bounce back in Houston, tie the series 2-2, and then they defend their home floor in game 5 and go on to win the series in 7. Now, as far as I could tell, this was the most straightforward comeback that didn't feature a major injury to the other team. But there is a conspiracy theory that this series was rigged by the NBA, and I guess Tim Donahue, the official who has been caught cheating, testified about this during his whole scandal. And originally, I'm reading this quote, and I don't see it. I'm not interpreting this as the NBA rigging anything. It just sounds like Dallas complained about Houston getting away with setting a bunch of moving screens, and so the officials, they zeroed in on this and started calling it from then on, which seems reasonable to me. That's not rigging anything. But then I went back and I watched some of the footage on YouTube of this series and some of the questionable calls. And
15 seconds, down to 7 on the shot clock, down to 6, down to 5. Brooks to the basket. No whistle.
Wow.
And a timeout taken.
Are you
Brooks
kidding me?
Don't get a technical.
What game are these guys watching? You have got to be kidding me. I hate to talk about the officials. This is a terrible crew.
Yeah, man, I don't know. There's definitely some questionable calls there. I'm not going to say that they rigged it, but anyways, all of that is to say, coming back from being down 0-2 on the road is difficult. It almost never happens. And every example that I just mentioned has the team that was down 0-2 benefit majorly from something after the first 2 games, right? Whether that's your tinfoil hat conspiracy theories or the other team just getting injured, something has helped the other team come back. Right now, the Cavs are currently not getting any of those favors. In fact, they are the team that's being harassed by injuries with multiple key guys going out and Donovan Mitchell having the calf strain as well, even though he's going to be playing through it. So it's actually working against us. Now, if you're looking forward and if you're looking for the way forward and trying to think, well, what could benefit them and shift this back in the Cavs' favor, it's those guys getting resurrected and coming back mid-series, which it sounds like could happen on Friday. It would be getting those guys back. And so as of recording, it's Thursday around 5 o'clock, May 8th, the day before game 3. I don't know who's going to play. I know they're all questionable, and I've heard that it's optimistic that they were going to come back. So with that said, we might as well finish off with some copium here, some high-grade copium. Let's go over some of the key factors of this series so far and look at who is winning these categories, right? So obviously the Pacers are up 2-0, so they've done more than enough to win. But if you look at some of these key factors, Rebounds, the Pacers are winning 87 to 86. It's basically even there. But if you look at the offensive rebounds, the Cavs are actually doing a really good job there. Cavs have 27 offensive rebounds to just 18 for Indiana. They're winning in that department. The Cavs are forcing more turnovers. The Cavs have forced 35 turnovers. The Pacers have forced just 21. As a result of winning the possession battle, the Cavs have taken 20 more field goal attempts between the two games. They've taken 20 more shots in these games that have been decided, within the final few minutes. The Cavs are getting way more possessions and still not being able to get the job done. Points in the paint, the Cavs are crushing them, 126 to 88. The Cavs are dominating the paint. They're dominating the possession battle. The only thing they're not doing is dominating the three-point battle. The Pacers have hit 10 more three-pointers than the Cavs so far. It's 30 to 20 in that department. It's a 30-point swing. The Pacers are shooting 47% from three. The Cavs are shooting 26%. So the big question outside of injuries is, will the three-point variance swing? If it doesn't, if it does swing, all of a sudden the Cavs could win 4 straight, right? If we're the ones shooting our usual percentage and the Pacers go through a slump, yeah, we could come back easily. If it doesn't swing back into our favor, then we might be the team that goes out in 4 straight. So you'd assume the best three-point shooting team that in the league all year, which was the Cavs, they won't magically fall apart for the entire series like this, but sometimes things go wrong and they just continue to go wrong. There's no guarantee that, just because we had a couple bad games that they're magically going, that means we're going to have good games in 3 and 4. No, it doesn't work like that. The playoffs rely on small sample sizes, and the Cavs are definitely prone to having a small sample size where they don't shoot the ball well. So they could just be cold for the series, and that could decide it. But if they manage to win game 3, if they manage to get everybody back, they win game 3, whether that be because they're dominating all the other areas that they've already been dominating, or the three-point variance swings back. All I know is that if they manage to win game 3, the pressure is officially back on for Indiana. In fact, they'll probably be feeling more pressure than I think people would realize. Game 3 is basically the series right there. If Indiana wins game 3, it's all but over. The only way that the Cavs can conceivably come back and get back into the series is if they win game 3. Remember that all-time number. Home teams that go down 0-2 are 4-24 all time. Those teams are 0-6 if they split the following road trip. So if they go on to lose either game 3 or game 4, it's never happened before. No home team has started 0-2 and then split the road trip and come back. It's literally never happened in basketball. So the Cavs, you have to win games 3 and 4. If you do that, if you win games 3 and 4, your odds improve to 4-18. So that's basically a 1-in-5 chance. 4 out of the teams that have won game 3 and 4 have gone on to win the series. So if you're the Pacers, you're looking at this as like game 3 is a closeout game. If you're the Cavs, you're playing an elimination game, right? And if you win game 3, all of a sudden it's game 4 on Sunday with a chance to go back to Cleveland 2-2. So you get the home court advantage back. You maybe will have at least, 2, maybe even 3 of your guys back at that point. And the series is officially a best of 3 with 2 of those games in Cleveland. From that point, if you win game 5, then the home team, they go on to win 80% of the time. So just like that, we could be having a very different conversation and different historical context with this series in just a few days. But of course, that's a big ask. We're a long way away from being able to say any of that. The door could be slammed shut tomorrow or on Sunday. In fact, I think if you're a Pacers fan or even if you're a Cavs fan who's feeling a little bit down, you're well within reason to think Indiana will slam the door shut this weekend. The Cavs, like I said, they're a long way away from getting back in this thing. There's a lot of work that has to be done. Indiana, listen, they're looking at all those key factors that I just mentioned too. And they're saying, how can we get this back in order? Can we do a better job on the glass? Can we take better care of the ball? They're looking at all that stuff too. So none of this is going to be easy. It all starts with Friday night, and I can't wait to see what happens. So thank you everyone for watching this video. I'm nervous as hell for Friday. I can't lie, but hopefully we'll have our 3 guys back and we'll at least have a chance to go down swinging, right? So I still think the Cavs have a chance to do this. It all starts with game 3. Let me know what you're thinking. And until next time, go Cavs.